All right, I see that the counter on my monitor is at 18 seconds, so that sort of presumes that I am live on the dreaded Facebook, and that this is indeed Tent Talks Tunes. Oh, yeah. You'll notice there's no fancy opening card here tonight. That's because I'm back to using my extremely cheap streaming webcam. And I know you guys have had all you can take listening to my woes and my complaints and my jeremiads about the various webcams and streaming services I use. Let's just say they all suck. And the one I'm using tonight is the one that sucks a little bit less, in that I'm actually able to go on air and stream live for you guys. So, whatever crappy technology we're using, I'm going to do my usual routine and go back to the monitor, which when I'm using this camera is my handheld monitor. So let's get this thing on here and dial it up and blah, 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 and make sure that I am indeed going out live, because with the internet, you just never know. You just never know. For those of you who are watching the rerun on YouTube, just pretend nothing's happening. Just ignore what you're seeing right now. Oh my God, this thing won't let me close it. I really don't like to go on and complain about the technology, but it's just inevitable. There's no way around it. Of course, I did get a new phone. I did purchase a brand new phone about a week ago, which for me is a major, major step in technological advancements. So maybe I should try to be the less fancy guy and actually use my phone to go on live. Well, I'm seeing some comments popping up. We have Alan Versapellis, who, as always, is the first one in the house. We got my old broken talent compadre, Grant Den, coming in from somewhere out there in the great expanses of the western U.S. If you can get me out where you are, Grant, then obviously I am live and it is happening. So that's pretty exciting. But I'm a contrarian and I'm a little bit ornery, so I want to make for darn sure that I'm going live. This is what the spirit of cable TV is all about. You could go onto channel 862 on your local cable TV station and see programming just like this. So I'm doing my best to keep the spirit of great cable TV alive and well, using whatever it is I got. So I'm here, you're here, we're all here. Welcome. A big toast of hickory tap to use. Now that we got the bullshit done, let's take a quick look at the bulletin board, and then we're going to jump right into the deep, dark, delicious meat of the matter, which is the mail. Oh, yes, the mail is the show this week, and I'm pretty excited. I've been sitting on these boxes of swag for almost over a week in some cases, and I've been like resisting savage temptation to just rip them open and see what's in them. But I promised to share with you guys, so we're going to do it in about a minute. So what's on the bulletin board? What's happening? Well, we've got one very exciting event this coming Saturday, and that is the Brown Mountain Lights Festival in beautiful downtown Morganton, North Carolina. Yes, indeedy do. I'm just almost cracking myself up there, but I'm keeping my cool, baby. Downtown Morganton, North Carolina. This is a stacked bill of excellent bands from the area and outside the area and from parts unknown and from weights unknown. And you got us, Anti-Scene, that little old southern boogie band from the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. We're on top of the bill. But we're not playing last. No, 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 no. We're going on, I think, third to last. We are hitting the stage at 7 o'clock p.m. So if you want to catch a real bona fide blast of destructo rock, a genre invented by Anti-Scene, and of course done best by Anti-Scene, make sure you're there at 7 p.m. at the big old amphitheater in downtown Morganton. You can't miss it. It takes up a very large piece of landscape downtown. It's really pretty out there. It's a really nice amphitheater. and it's hosted by our good pal Stacy Peak, who owns the great Green Eggs and Jam record and culture shop in downtown Morganton. If you want to see the guy who's running it, just look for the dude in the top hat looking completely frazzled and pulled in 5 different directions at once. That would be Stacy. Make sure to bother him some more, why don't you? Tell him I sent you. He'll love me if you do that. Oh, let's see. Now, using this monitor, I see some people have come in here. We got Rich Ling walking from my old home state of Connecticut. Hello. We got Clyde. We got Matt. Good to see you guys here with me on Tent Talks Tunes. Excuse me. So, yes, October 25th, Morganton, Anti-Scene, Brown Mountain Lights Festival. By the way, it's free. It's all ages. So you have exactly 0 excuse to miss this rock and roll extravaganza. And if you want to hear more about Mr. Stacy Peak and his shop and his really impressive Anti-Scene vinyl collection, you can go to my YouTube channel, which if you haven't subscribed yet, you really should. I truthfully don't know what it means when you subscribe, but the common wisdom says that you should subscribe. So just go ahead and subscribe, all right? Humor an old, non-technologically advanced coot like myself. Check it out. Last week's episode is archived on YouTube along with all right, kids, we're going to try again. We're going to try one more time to do this using the crappy crapola video camera. Give you guys a second to regroup yourselves. I'm going to give myself a second to regroup myself, and we will pick up where we left off a second ago. Those of you who are watching on the YouTube permanently archived video, once again, this means nothing to you because you can watch it in the comfort of your own home without any interruptions whatsoever. So I'm going to take a little swig here. As we know, if you hit the L button on your keyboard, you'll be able to fast forward 10 seconds at a time so you can skip over these annoying little bits. And I'm going to check the monitor again to make sure I'm going on live. Blah, 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 blah. Boy, it says current vibe here. Extremely annoyed. That's what I'm going to say. That's my current vibe. Extremely annoyed. And I'm back live and people are watching. Okay, so I'm going to try to minimize the bullshit and get back on with it, okay? Bulletin board event number 2 is November 15th of this year, the Danbury Record and CD Expo. It is the record show that I co-promote with my pals in Noise in the Attic. I will be there with not 1, not 2, but 3 tables loaded with high quality new and used and TPOS merchandise for a fine, fun day of buying, selling, and trading. There will be a room full of other record dealers from all over New England. So if you walk in there empty-handed and walk out of there empty-handed, I'm going to suggest that you're doing something wrong. Because it's hard. I've always found it dang near impossible to walk out of a record show empty-handed. With a bunch of dealers and a bunch of cool stuff, how can you not? Anyway, November 15th, VFW Hall 149 in Danbury. Add it to your calendar. Make the trip. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if I don't see you somewhere between now and then, maybe I'll see you there. All right, that's basically it. The bulletin board. We've talked about upcoming events. I've plugged the YouTube channel. I've mentioned that my label is TPOS, and you can see very clearly that my mailing address is P.O. Box 173, Newton, North Carolina, 28658, and that is why we have so much great content on this week's episode of Tent Talks Tunes. Oh yes, we got mail galore, and I'm going to stop yapping and I'm going to get right down to it. Here we have an envelope, a manila envelope with a Saginaw, Michigan return address, and we already know that can mean one thing for sure. I don't know if it can mean only one thing, but it can mean one thing for sure, and that's my pal Food Fortunata from the great Burg of Saginaw has sent me. Y'all know what's in here? I know what's in here. The latest issue of, this is what they call predictive text on the internet, the latest issue of, you guessed it, Ear of Corn. Oh yes, a genuine, honest to gosh, print zine with all the great things that print zines have. Collage art, reviews. Oh, look at that on the very back cover, a concert review of the B-52s, Lena Lovitch, and Devo. What do you know? Maybe you guys knew this, maybe you didn't, but I am going to be attending the Devo concert in Charlotte on Friday the 24th. Look for me, look for Pissy Chrissy. We will be there in attendance, dressed up in our Devo gear and geeking out to the max. Concert review, book reviews, including a review. Oh, look at that. A review of this book right here is in Ear of Corn. The Misadventures with G.G. Allen book. Isn't this great how I get to slide all these plugs into the content of the program? A review in Ear of Corn of this book, which I published earlier this year, which of course is available. Haven't read the review yet because I just opened up the Verschlungener envelope, but it's a pretty long review, and if it's a long review, that indicates it's probably a good review. So yeah, record releases and reviews and zine reviews. This is great stuff. This is what helps keep me current and on top of things. So Food Fortunata, thank you so much for the latest issue of Ear of Corn. I got something to send you in return. If you're watching, I got just the thing for you. So stay tuned, watch your mailbox. It will be full of something from my mailbox ASAP. All right, here's another box. This is a small one from my good pal Mark Robinson from PONK Media. Mark is a super cool guy. He's got a great label, PONK, P-O-N-K. You can look it up. He's got a cool YouTube channel in which he talks about the releases he's done, the artists he's worked with. Mark has created and kept in print seminal releases by G.G. Allen, Tiny Tim, Sleepy LaBeef, Dwayne Peters. He's got some really cool, previously unheard and unavailable tracks by Nervous Norvis. If you don't know Nervous Norvis, look him up. If you love novelty music, I guarantee satisfaction with Nervous Norvis. And we recently collaborated on the G.G. Allin Tiny Tim split 12-inch EP, which you've probably seen me posting about and talking about. So here's a box from Mark, which I was not expecting. So I legit don't know what could be in here, but we're going to take the 3-mile box cutter. We're working on mile 3. Mile 3, 1 inch at a time. We just added about 6 inches to the 3-mile box cutter. 10 inches. 14 inches of linear cutting have just been added to the tally on this box cutter. We're going to get to 3 miles any day now, I promise. We're opening this up. This is a live, unplanned, unstaged unboxing. I don't know what's in here. Packing material, always a good sign. Ooh, speaking of the release, it's on vinyl on my label, but I see right here, right now, that Mark has got the CD version of Beautifully Ugly, the Tiny Tim G.G. Allin split maxi EP. That looks great. I've been looking at this in the 12 by 12 format for the past several weeks, and here it is in the compact disc. Shrink wrapped, professionally made. Looks awesome. I have no doubt that's going to sound awesome. So that's pretty cool. No doubt you can look up PONK Media. And I don't know if you guys can see the logo. I've learned with this cheesy camera here not to put things too close to the lens, because if I do, you'll get this automatic focus clicking sound. When the lens goes to automatically focus, it'll start clicking. So I don't want to zoom in too much, but maybe you can see PONK Media. CDs available from Market PONK. What else is in here? Another interesting package. Huh. This is kind of dense packed and somewhat heavy. Let's see if we can open up this here shopping bag and put another inch of linear cutting distance on the soon-to-be 3-mile box cutter. With some kind of print media. Oh, look at this. I see Mark is going nuts with the promotional materials. These are genuine, honest-to-jaw 4x6. They're actually photographs. Photographic postcards of the Beautifully Ugly Tiny Tim G.G. Allin split mini album. That looks really cool. And I am going to be happy to stuff one of these in every order made for the Tiny Tim G.G. Allin split 12-inch. Because I am definitely from the days of mail order and mail swapping and mail trading, and it's the little knickknacks and extras like this that make it so much fun. So yeah, we're rocking now, kids. Thank you, Mark from PONK. And while you're checking out my YouTube channel, check out his YouTube channel, because he posts a lot of really cool stuff. All right, we got another box here. It took me a minute to figure out what this might have been. This is from New Orleans, Louisiana. And I was mystified as to who could be sending me what from New Orleans. I'm not expecting anything from New Orleans. But then I remembered. With this twisted brain of mine. I remembered that I have a trade going on. And this is an LP reissue of something that I never thought would happen, never even knew could happen. So we're going to have a real thrill of discovery with this one, guys. Out comes the box cutter. We're adding another linear foot to the total linear total. Is that what I'm trying to say? The total linear tally of stuff cut by the soon-to-be 3-mile box cutters. There's 2. We just added 3 feet right there. 5,700 feet to a mile, and we just added 3 to the total of the box cutter. Let's take a look and see what's in this box that is mysteriously and tantalizingly shaped like vinyl albums. Oh yes, we got some packing material. Yeah, we've got some very interesting and lousy packing material. 1980s, Simply Red. If this band looks terrible, it's because they are. I'm just going to toss that aside. More packing material. Ah, yes, this guy. This is definitely a good album for packing material, for sure. And a generic bag. And then, oh yes, this is what we've been waiting for. We had no idea there was such a thing, but men with no IQs. Now, if you guys have any appreciation for 1980s punk and hardcore, these guys apparently are semi-legendary. I really had no idea about them. I was going to a gig at the Anthrax in Norwalk, Connecticut, which is Connecticut's premier all-ages venue. They existed for a long time, and probably the single best venue I've ever been to in my entire life, as far as being user-friendly, all ages, totally independent and DIY. The Anthrax was the best. So I was at the Anthrax one night, sometime around 1987, 1988. Don't even remember who I went to go see, but one of the opening bands was this mysterious group from Alabama called the Men with No IQs. And they were great. They totally rocked. They didn't look punk rock in the slightest bit, but they were punk rock. And they were really good. And, you know, I talked to them a little bit afterwards. They were really cool guys. If I remember correctly, they didn't even have a record out at the time. I'm pretty sure they released one 7-inch single. And I'm also pretty sure that if they did have a record, I would have bought it. So they just sort of came and went and disappeared into the mists of time. But then all of a sudden, it was announced there's going to be a full-length LP of Men with No IQ stuff. And here it is. Very cool. Look at that. 7 songs. 1987 is the copyright date. And this is, talk about DIY. This is paste-on artwork. Printed artwork pasted onto repurposed old sleeves. That is punk rock. And there it is on vinyl. Beautiful, fresh black vinyl. Love it. These labels pasted on? No, they're not pasted on. That'd be a lot of work to do that. But here it is. Very cool. Glad to have this. The trade is in the works. I've got a whole box of stuff to reciprocate. And of course, you know, being the absent-minded mofo that I am, well, you know what? I've got a monitor here. We can see who I'm going to send thanks out to. Let me check my messages on this thing. If you guys bear with me, I'll tell you the name of the guy putting this thing out, who deserves a big thumbs up. Ah, Michael, yes. Michael from New Orleans, thank you so much. I got them. They're here. They say they look awesome. I got stuff to send to you in return, and I'll be very happy to do so. All right, now we've had the smaller packages. Now we got the big one. We have a very large box. This box was shown in the meme I posted earlier today, but it is too big to just schlep around and open for you. It's big. It's heavy. I picked this thing up at the post office, and I had to walk all the way home with it. It was a big job trying to carry this thing home, but I made it. And this is from my pal Adam. Adam is a good man and a big Devo fan. I met him at the Devotional. He was playing drums for a Devo tribute band called the Devo-Matics. We, of course, bonded over Devo and other items of mutually shared good taste. And Adam has in the past sent me one of my favorite things to open up live on Tent Talks Tunes, and that's the Thrift Shop in a Box. Great fun. He said he was going to send me some more, and I said, oh, Thrift Shop in a Box. Can't wait. He said no. He was very clear in saying this is not Thrift Shop in a Box. No, 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 no. This is stuff apparently from his personal collection. So as much fun as we've had with Thrift Shop in a Box, apparently this is some real, I'm going to guess, interesting, hand-picked hand curated music from his own stash. So I have not opened up this box. This is first time, and I've been staring at this thing for a week. I've been dying to open this thing up, but I've been waiting until now. Let's see if I can get it up here. It's very, boy, is it unwieldy. Oh yeah, you guys see the size of this thing? Can you feel and hear how heavy that is? This is a heavy, solid box. So I will open it up on my lap, on camera, but I'm going to take it down to the floor because there's just no way I can have the flaps of the box open and all that and show you guys what's in here. So here we go. Here's like another, I think, 18 inches or so on the 2-mile scissors. And I can see right now my focus is being screwed with, so I'm gonna have to put this box down. But you can see I'm opening up right now, live on the Facebook. Okay, there it is. Box opened. You've seen it. The box has officially been opened right now, right here. Lots of packing material. And we're going to toss that aside. And there's a lot of stuff in here, so I'm going to do a real quick scan and dig and show and tell. Ugh. Put it down there. And I have a suspicion that my lens might be messed up and it might be making that annoying clicking noise. So I'm going to tune in real fast here. Once again, guys, this is live. This is what makes it exciting and interesting. All these haps and mishaps and strange things. The trade is in the works. I've got a whole box of stuff to reciprocate. Wow, that's old. And of course, you know, there's quite a lag on this thing. Oh well, whatever. What did Adam send me from the XOXOXO burbs of Atlanta, Georgia? Well, we got, look at that. Beatles stuff. I've met a couple of people in my life who don't like the Beatles. And I like them, but I don't understand how you could not like the Beatles. Look at that. Really cool Beatles DVDs. We got A Hard Day's Night. We got Help. We got a couple of documentary things. This is cool. This is a documentary about Paul McCartney and Wings, which is very interesting. Wings were on the radio an awful lot in the mid-'70s. Probably even more so than the Beatles. We got Henry Rollins, one of the few people who I've ever seen talk nonstop for 2.5 hours and be entertaining the whole time. There's Rollins on DVD. There is so much Rollins stuff I haven't consumed yet. And we're going to sort of close the gap now. More Rollins. Here's a band we all know. Iron Maiden. A documentary about them. I'm not much of an Iron Maiden fan, but I'm a huge documentary fan. I'll watch a documentary on just about anybody. I'm always down for learning about bands, whether I like them or not. So that's going to be cool. What else have we got? Ooh, Zappa plays Zappa. I believe that Zappa Plays Zappa is not allowed to use that name anymore. I think now it's Frank Plays Dweezil or something like that. But one Zappa playing music by another Zappa. You know, that's going to be some badass shiz. Oh, yes. 5 DVDs. 5 DVDs. Or is it CDs? That's apparently CDs. No, it's DVDs. I don't know what it is, but there's 5 of them. Yeah, it's a DVD. Typical Zappa fashion. There's no such thing hardly as a single disc release of anything. It's got to be a giant sized box set. There's got to be a lot of stuff on it. And the frightening part is it's pretty much all going to be good. Zappa Plays Zappa. Ooh, yes. Well, this is kind of timely. Kiss. Yes, Kiss. We all know that Ace Frehley has recently departed planet Earth, went back to the planet Jandel. Kiss, of course, for someone of my generation, was the pinnacle, the peak, the apogee, the toppermost or the poppermost of rock and roll. When you're that age, 12, 13 years old, it didn't get any better than Kiss. And in the last 30 years or so, I've really rekindled my love and fandom of Kiss. So quite timely in that here's a Kiss multi-disc DVD of live concert performances. I am all about that. In fact, I think I can pretty much guarantee that I'll be watching this later tonight. Salute to you, Ace, wherever you are. What else, man? This is a DVD bonanza. Reverend Horton Heat. The Hoodoo Gurus. I didn't know the Hoodoo Gurus had so much stuff out until I met Adam. I only knew them from like maybe one or two albums that came out in the late 80s, but these guys are just like a non-stop record and apparently DVD releasing machine. Same thing with Stan Ridgway. You know, he's got the one or two really obvious albums that you see around, but man, he's cranked out a lot of stuff. This one I have seen. Excellent Ramones collection of video footage. Real good stuff. Never get tired of watching the Ramones. Brian Setzer, live in Japan. Kind of like Anti-Scene. That's one thing we have in common with Brian Setzer. We both played Japan. Even though I wasn't in the band, I can still say we. We got some, oh, look at this, more McCartney stuff. This was 1976 live, if memory serves me correctly. McCartney is probably about the top of his game at this time as a solo artist. And he's still at it, playing 3-hour shows. God bless him. Mazel tov, Paul McCartney. That's some more Rollins. Uncut from New York City. I wonder if I was at this show. I'll have to look at it more carefully later and see. So I think the last time I saw Rollins live was in New York City. And there he is again. And there he is again. Woo, this guy just cranks it out. Look at all this. Look at all this. It's a lot of dang Rollins. Oh, yeah. Here's one I have seen. This is a really, really cool collection of video footage about the Police as shot by their drummer, Stuart Copeland. And it sort of tells the tale from his perspective. And if you're a Police fan, you know that the story of the Police has always been Sting versus Stewart the whole time. You know, just part of the engine that drove the Police was that friction and that clash between those two very huge, very strong egos. Justifiably so. You know, if you've got the talent and the chops to back up that ego, the results speak for themselves. But this is really cool. Stuart Copeland's a man after my own heart because he's a guy who seems to have always had an audio recorder, always had a film camera, was always documenting the band he was in. And I just love that kind of stuff. Being the dude who records everything that I do band-wise and every show I go to, I love seeing the results from somebody else who does the exact same thing. Fans unite. What else have we got here? More McCartney. Don't know what year. You know Paul's gonna rock. What else have we got here? Oh, we got Black Sabbath, the alleged last show from whenever that was. But it's the original lineup, the real lineup. And I'm a big fan of Tony Martin and Ronnie James Dio and Ian Gillan and all that, but there's no denying the original. I'm not even going to say they were the best. I'm going to say that the original Black Sabbath wrote a certain book that has never been rewritten and has never been improved on. All the various other lineups did great stuff, but it was a different animal. Original Black Sabbath. Oh, yes. The fabled Dub Room Special by Frank Zappa, filmed in 1974, I believe, never released. Come back video 82, yeah. I'm pretty sure this is 74. Who do we got here? George Duke, Ruth Underwood, Chester Thompson. Yeah, 74. Great stuff. This has been circulating on bootleg for a long time. And the ZFT, the Zappa Family Trust, finally released it legitimately. And to this day, I've never seen the legit release of this, so I'm pretty excited. I've seen many, many grainy VHS copies of this, but you know this is going to be the puka deal. All right, well, we got some Rush. I'm not going to make any comments about Rush. I don't look a gift horse in the mouth. It is what it is. Hey, we're doing pretty good so far. Beatles on VHS. There's a format for you. Nothing like the see and the feel of a VHS tape. The complete Beatles, which I believe is completely out of print because of anthology. For the longest time ever, the complete Beatles was the only Beatle document you could get. The only Beatles documentary, biography, whatever you want to call it. Anthology came along, and this got thrown into the scrap heap. Have not seen this in a very long time, but I remember it was pretty good. Pretty darn good. So I'm going to give this one a revisitation soon. Murray Gelman just logged in from Tucson, Arizona. Hello, Murray. Hope you're enjoying the unboxing here. Now things are going to start getting a little bit esoteric. I'm going to hit the esoterica later. We got a few VHSs in here. And also, I don't know about you guys, but I have a fully functioning VHS player in my home entertainment center in the other room. Oh yes, lots of VHS, lots of Beatles stuff, documentary about their first U.S. visit, anthology in its completeness, some Paul McCartney stuff from 1993, and more Police. There you go. A live video collection of the Police. I can watch the Police play all day long, all night long as it takes. Watch them, listen to them. This was just a phenomenal band. The Police kicked ass. The very definition of a power trio, but a different kind of power. Not overwhelming volume. Excuse me, guys. Live television for you. Not volume power, but just sheer chops power. These three mofos could play. Man, they could play. And even if it's a song I don't like, just the sheer joy of hearing the interplay with the musicians and the tension and the push and the pull and the use of space that these guys were so masterful at. Oh, God, what a joy. Love it, love it, love it. Now, I'm looking down here, I see a whole bunch of cassettes. Many, many cassettes. Lots of mixtapes. More than I could possibly show. I'm just going to take a real quick... well, here's one right up. Right. Straight to my heart. A cassette of Devo smooth noodle maps. They're much maligned, yet extremely popular on my various CD players, record players, whatever players, now cassette players. Great album from 1991. Along with what looks like the Forbidden Zone soundtrack. This is going to be a wild-ass bunch of listening right here. Oh, yes. Love that. I'll take a moment to mention, seeing this cassette of Devo Smooth Noodle Maps. And no, I'm not going to mention again that I'm seeing Devo this Friday, October 24th, in Charlotte. And you guys are welcome to look for me and Pissy Chrissy. We'll say hi. We'll hang out. But what I was doing almost 2 weeks ago was playing a gig in Cleveland, Ohio at the annual Devotional, featuring a guy named David Kendrick, who is the drummer on the Smooth Noodle Maps album. And I just absent-mindedly tossed it over here. Yep, there it is. The very man who played drums on this album was the drummer for the band that we put together to showcase his talents, because he was in not only Devo, but Sparks. He's the current drummer for Shoo Shoo. He was in 1980s new wave sensations Gleaming Spires, Bates Motel, his current band Empire of Fun. One heck of a musician and a really super cool guy. We had a great time playing with him at Devotional. And we had so much fun doing that we are now recording an album. Yes, a David Kendrick's Quintophrenia album is in the works. And so far, I've heard the rhythm tracks, and they sound fantastic. So I'm very excited to be adding my rhythm guitar and backing vocals to that and presenting the finished product to you. Pissy Chrissy herself has just commented saying that, yes, Boogie Boy, all dressed in silver, will be with us. So all you got to do is cast your eyes way down yonder to front row center. Look for the best looking couple in the entire arena who will be in the company of a very small boogie boy. Come by and say hello. We'll be geeking out and freaking out and having lots of fun at the Devo show. Oh my gosh, more cassettes. We got Joe Jackson, we got the B-52s, we got Ramones, we got Pink Floyd, we got Gary Newman. When Adam sent me this box, he said that this stuff was going to be right up my alley, and he was completely right. I love all these bands. There's another Devo mixtape. Ooh boy. Various selections between 78 and 84. I'm going to put this in my cassette deck and listen to it without even looking at the track listing because I love the thrill of surprise. Oh man, Beatles, Sex Pistols, Kiss. Yeah, all on cassette. Boingo Boingo, Rollins Band. This is just such great stuff. This is not only the music I grew up on, but it's timeless classic music in its own right. Let none deny it. And on top of that, Adam Zister knowing exactly what makes me tick. What did he send me in this great big old box? A cassette deck. Yes, a cassette deck. Tastefully decorated with Devo Energy Dome stickers. Adam, thank you so much. You know for a darn fact I'm going to put this to use, like, immediately. I go through cassette decks at a furious rate, and I'm always in the market for functioning cassette decks. And I might have mentioned this to Adam, and Adam definitely took note. So not only the software, but the hardware. I'm seriously going to hook this up tonight, once I'm done watching Kiss, and start recording stuff with it and playing stuff with it. It's going to go to use immediately. So thank you, Adam. Very, very obliged to you. And, wow, that's it. We reached the bottom of the box. Go figure. So much cool stuff. And, man, I'll say it again. I am grateful. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Food Fortunata. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Mark from PONK Media. Thank all of you guys for this. And hopefully you guys watching enjoyed this edition of Tent Talks Tunes, when we went on a mutual voyage of discovery, seeing just exactly what this shiz is, yo. Woo! Quick reminders, once again, Brown Mountain Lights Festival this Saturday, Morganton, North Carolina. My little old band, Anti-Scene, are hitting the stage at 7 p.m. And we will rock you. It's a free show. It's all ages, so no excuses. November 15th, the Danbury Record and CD Expo, where I will have 3 tables of quality records, tapes, CDs, TPOS releases, and my own winning magnetic presents. Yes, all at the same time. Can you take it? Don't forget my website, malcolmtent.net, which I update periodically. The mailing address, in case you haven't seen enough mail, P.O. Box 173, Newton, North Carolina, 28658. My Discogs, eBay, and Bandcamp, showcasing my label TPOS. And, of course, the YouTube channel. And Valerie Ellis says, thanks for the tip on the Copeland Police movie. Yes, definitely, Valerie. I guarantee satisfaction. If you love the Police even half as much as I do, you're going to really enjoy seeing that. Everyone Stares by Stuart Copeland and the Police. Yes. Maybe I'll go play some Police right now. The question is always, what album? What album? What Police album? Valerie, I'm going to leave it up to you. If you're still watching and you want to chime in, I'm going to leave it up to you. If I was going to play a Police album, which one should it be? And of course, if anybody wants to chime in, anybody out there got a favorite Police album? Let me know. Because out of all 5 of them, they're all great in their own way. And as we know, indecision is a terrible thing. So I'm going to rely on you, my loyal Tent Talks Tunes advisors, to give me a clue as to which Police album I should listen to. And if nobody wants to take on the overwhelming responsibility of making that decision for me, I will go into the game room and pick up a die. And I will roll the die. And whatever number comes up is the number of Police album I will listen to. Number 1, Outlandos D'Amour. Number 2, Regatta de Blanc. Number 3, Zenyatta Mandata. Number 4, Ghost in the Machine. Number 5, Synchronicity. And number 6, the official Police live album that came out a bunch of years ago and which just smokes from start to finish. So either I'm going to get my arm twisted by somebody out there in internet land, or I'm going to let a literal roll of the die determine my immediate musical fate. Either way, I can't lose. All right, that's it. We're going to leave it at that. I'm going to say that this has indeed been and always will be Malcontent. Thanks for tuning in. I do hope to be back in about 167 hours' time. So until we meet again, I bid you a fond so long from the Nutmeg State.